What just happened?
Live from New York, it's Saturday night.
On the Bluff, in the best hobby in the world with the best people in the world.
I believe that's copyrighted. So
92.2.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I know, is this show 93 or 92?
92.2.
I feel like we've just done a show. Okay.
WNTW, the soft sound of the rain.
Rock and roll, if I can remember even what this show is about, let's give it a shot.
The greatest hobby in the world.
Somebody give us a countdown.
The trains
Let's
in
start.
Spain stay mostly on a plane.
92.
And here we go.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome to the What's Neat This Week show. This is number 92 for October 12th, 2019, and we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. Mike Budde's got a new truck that he's demonstrating the starting process on. He's got boxcars that he's working on weathering, one that he's working on modifying. We've got LEDs and locomotives. We've got a whole lot more to talk about, and Trainfest coming up. We got Brent here talking about his 1-to-1 scale model railroad coming up tonight.
That sounds like a great show, guys. Rock and roll. Let's do this. This will be easy.
All right.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you. Additional support is provided by Athearn Trains. Check out all their new monthly announcements at athearn.com.
And by Micromark, the small tool specialists. Visit their website and use product code WNTW at www.micromark.com/WNTW. Also by Trainfest, America's largest operating model train show since 1972. Check out their website and show dates at trainfest.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week podcast, show number 92 for October 12th, 2019. I'm your host, Ken Patterson, the host of the What's Neat show over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine. That's that great magazine that we all love to look at. And tonight I've got a full crowd of folks, and believe it or not, we've already shot a half a show because quite honestly, we were going to have Ray and Brittany Plashevsky on the show from Renault's Models, and our internet died. And even my 16-year-old didn't get it fixed for 20 minutes. And then at that time, it was kind of too late for them because they had a prior engagement they had to go to. So we'll have you guys back on from Renault's Railroad. Sorry about the technical. In 92 shows, that's never happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
First time.
It's always a first for everything.
The electric went out in one show. Do you
That's
remember
right.
that?
I
And
do.
we kept on
Yep,
recording.
in the dark.
So tonight I've got with me Michael Budde. Mike Budde. I've got Sugar Fire, Joshua Barton.
up,
I love to
everybody?
say that. Look at this, James Regier over here. I've got
Hi, everybody.
Brent Lee. And of course, we all know Campbell Rice, who's recently moved to St. Louis, and he's got his layout up and going in less than about a week.
Well, not completely, but it's getting there.
Pretty far
It's
along.
absolutely amazing.
Pretty amazing.
You guys have all been enjoying this cool weather that we've had. The cool temperatures have been amazing. I've been outside doing additional photo shoots this week. Plus the full moon tonight, James Regier rose up. I videotaped that thinking about you, figuring by Wednesday we're going to be doing some more neat.
Well, yeah, I think technically the full moon is tomorrow night, so yeah.
is.
I may come back to the Bluff then. The girls are on fall break, so that'll lax up the schedule a bit.
And in fact, the December 2019 What's Neat over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine, we did a segment in there talking about photography and the types of, you were there, we were explaining how your camera worked, how mine works, and what's the right settings to use.
Right. You want to use the bulb setting because you do not want to touch that shutter button, especially for those long exposures, because you'll jiggle the camera and you'll lose your focus, you'll lose everything.
Talking about losing focus, man. Tonight's been a train wreck, but I think we're back on the rails. Rock and roll. Joshua, what do you got going on, brother?
Well, I had a bunch of people coming to Sugar Fire this week and last week. I had Rick and Joe Dolek from Peoria, Illinois. They watch every show, and they came to Sugar Fire for some barbecue before the playoff game with the Cardinals. And I also had Larry Zetterland. I hope I pronounced that right. And he came in town for a college reunion and decided to come to Sugar Fire. And then I had Bob Getty come to Sugar Fire, and here's a picture of me and him. And he had a lot of neat things to say, and I think he came over here afterwards.
Yes,
and,
I'll tell you
had
what.
to talk with you.
Bob Getty was awesome. He was only allowed to spend an hour here before his plane took off, and I'll tell you what, it was amazing. This gentleman has created an index. And Daniel, running camera 2, your name's on it.
That's right.
This is an index that encapsulates every single What's Neat video we've ever made at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine, and I think we've made about 100 of those so far, with a lot of how-tos. We started in 2012 with a tour of microengineering. We showed a guy making track for 45 seconds, and then Mike Budde was on the second one, putting some auto racks on his layout, and that video lasted about 1 minute and 38 seconds. And now What's Neat's up to sometimes an hour long to 30 minutes long with 5 segments in it. And Bob Getty has come up with a computer algorithm program, I don't know, ask Joe Fugate and Bob. It's some sort of a website that they have created now where every single episode and every single subject is broken down, where you type in how to make roads, and it takes you to the issue that tells us, Daniel, how do you make roads? Which one was that? And the funny thing is, he wrote on the front page of the website, this website was designed in case you can't get a hold of Daniel. So rock and roll.
Great. Thanks, Bob. We appreciate
Yeah,
that.
Daniel
awesome.
does too.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, and Joe Fugate's really excited about it, so look forward to more work coming from Bob Getty. Also, I put the Wonder Cutter from Micromark in Bob's hand, like I've done just about everybody who's visited lately, and Bob checked it out, and he gave me a thumbs up that he thought it cut styrene pretty quickly, and he did. That's the first time he ever used it. So thank you very much again, Bob Getty, for coming by. Now, Mike, I know you knocked their socks off last week with that phone truck because we saw the progression. Tell me, brother, what have you brought tonight?
Well, first of all, I wanted to give a shout out to Scott Kunkel. He's an over-the-road truck driver, and he's caught up in that blizzard right now up in southern Canada. But he's a model railroader, and he has his shop set up in his sleeper of his truck, and
Nice.
he's got a
that's awesome.
test track in there and everything, and so he sat there for last night and today all day working on his trains.
How cool
So,
is that?
Anyway, he's going to come down here sometime, and he'd have to park like at Walmart or something because he's got a big tractor trailer, and we'd go pick him
We'd
up.
go
and have
get
him on
him.
the show.
Yeah, sure.
He's turn around in the yard. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, right. And then these box cars I brought, those are the Moloko box cars Nick Molo donated for us to do for charity, and the yellow one is the one that Jeff Meyer's working on, and then the blue
Jeff
one.
is here tonight.
Yeah,
Yes.
blue one's the one that I've been working on too, and they're really great models of the General American or Fruit Growers Express cars that Moloko makes. Another project I'm working on is this Central Georgia boxcar. I took this picture in 1984, and I've always wanted to make a model of it. I found out that Mask Island Decals has the decal set that I needed, so I tried to figure out a way to kit bash this car. It's a early Pullman standard car built in 1963, outside braced, but it's a 50-foot car, so I figured the best way to do it would be to take one of these 60-foot Athearn PS1 boxcars and cut 10 feet out of it. So that's what I'm doing on
Yeah.
that project there, and I'll keep you guys up to date on the progress on that.
That's looking pretty impressive.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah, it turned out to be a little more work than I thought it was going to be, but I think it's going to be neat. Now, this truck, I'm working on this one now, and I just brought it to show you kind of how that one started out. This was a Walters or Bowley bed, and I cut the front and the sides completely off of it, just squared it up to give myself a core to build my own bed on, my own styrene bed. So that's how that one was made. That's how this one is going to be made. It's going to have a boom on it also, and it's going to be a cable placing truck. It'll have a reel on the back and then the mechanism to run the cable out through the top of it. So
Wow.
anyway, that's what I've been working on.
Nice.
Pretty amazing.
I'm excited to see it already.
Yeah.
Thanks.
James Regier, I know you've been working on projects. I was able to go over to your home this week and check out your studio, and I'll tell you what, it just fits. It's the right size. I love your workspace, James.
Yeah, it's a fun little workspace. It's nice knowing where everything is and everything has its place. The wife's been after me to clean it up, though. But yeah, you know how that works. But yeah, that's where the magic happens, and of course we'll be seeing snippets of that workspace in the upcoming What's Neat videos here in November and in December. With this F45 completed right on that desk, added a whole bunch of LEDs to it, about 21, to light basically every feature I could think of. Now they had now Soundtraxx had this video out about a blue light device that's supposed to send a blue light flasher for the blue light rule. That means you can't move the locomotive except for the person who placed that blue light flasher. I didn't even know that thing existed, so
Replaces a blue flag.
Feature. That's a feature that I've not incorporated on it because I did not know about it. So, yeah. There's always someone keeping me honest.
It's pretty amazing. So you think you're going to be out here this week doing moonshots again?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll have to figure out exactly what equipment I need to bring along. I may have to get that F7 fixed up so that you saw it on the repair list on the workbench. But yeah, try and bring that out with a few passenger coaches. That'll be
We're really impressed with your work. Wait till you see what he's doing for December with this Christmas lighting on this passenger car, this Bachmann coach. I can't show it to you, but I've seen it, and it's animated. It's the first model I've seen that's animated where the lights actually flash. So you're pretty amazing with the LEDs. Let's not give any more of that up. And look at that, Campbell Rice. I know you've just moved into town. We were at your house last week. We shot a video of you that's either going to go in December or January's What's Neat. Pretty impressed with your conceptual design of that layout. Your workspace is beautiful. You've got the whole room conditioned just the way you like it. Tell us about that.
Well, you're going to have to come back because it's doubled in size since when you recorded. So I've made a few additions. So
That was just 4 days ago.
Well, I find a little time here and there after being on the road. I'd like to come home and just try to work on the railroad and get things done.
I've been seeing the pictures on Facebook. You're basically using a technique where you're building the bench work, and then you have your layout modules that go on top of it, almost like Legos. That you're just kind of.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, the way I took it down from my previous residence, of course, I do the double styrofoam, so I basically cut it like a module and brought it in and built the bench work, and I'm kind of setting it in and then filling in some spaces because I've got a much bigger room now than I had before. Right. So that's the idea behind it. But when I can't run trains, I get that itch and I got to get it built.
Absolutely.
Right.
Sometimes I get in too big of a hurry, and but I guess got to relax and get the track work and everything done right.
No, you've got a good thing going. You're using the current methods of foam and still plywood for the riverbed. I saw a Central Valley Bridge, a 200-footer, I think that is.
That's correct.
You've got a lot of stuff going on, and you've literally built it in about 14 days.
Well,
so that's pretty amazing. And you're still working a job. Now, listen, you brought a special guest with you this evening, one of your friends that you've known from a long time from your hometown, and that is Brent Lee. And Brent, you're similar to a friend of ours named Kevin Rubel that used to own a real railroad, but you still do own a real railroad, not the kind we own, but one that actually produces income.
Yes, sir. That's correct. Thank
Tell
you for
me
having
about your passion for the whole world of trains.
Well, my railroad background started with model railroading. It started in a model railroad club with Campbell many, many years ago when I was about 11 years old, and we modeled the GM&O, the IC, and the NC and L. And throughout my younger career as a railroader, I went to work for a Class 1 and spent 24 years. And over that time, I always had a passion to go back and start at my own short line, have my own operation. And I pursued that dream and actually had the opportunity to go back to my hometown. And we took over about 8 miles of the former Gulf Mobile and Ohio Railroad in Union City, Tennessee.
Wow. That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's turned into a nice little operation, almost 3 years in the running now. And it's really a dream come true.
Yeah.
How many folks do you employ?
We employ 5 people currently.
And you've got a lot of land. You said you guys were picking up land, so you got space for new accounts, for new manufacturers, even automotive assembly plants.
We are currently in the process. We have transload locations in the Union City area. It's a really nice area. West Tennessee's growing. We've got Interstate 69 that's coming through Union City now that's in the process of being built. And we've got an industrial park on each side of our yard, and we've actually grown quite a bit of business in almost 3 years on the line.
That's
Great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Not only you are prototype real railroader who gets to go out and, just relieve some stress by running the real locomotive, but you also have a model railroad. You're very passionate about the hobby, aren't you?
I am. I modeled the IC, the GM&O, and the NC and St. L from about 1950 on, and I go all the way up on the IC till 1999 toward the end there. So I have a large terminal complex and roundhouse and back shop that I model.
You were telling me that you took Walther's kits. Now, what was it that you put together?
I took 5 transfer tables, 4 car shops, and combined it, and 7 back shop kits to create an actual shop complex.
Yeah, nice.
And coupled with 4 Walther's roundhouse kits. So I really got into the engine terminal in a big way. And I have a 20-track yard with prototype switching. It's all generating way bills with a morning job, an afternoon job, and a night job. So it's a fun little operation.
Nice.
Ken, we're going to have
fun.
to take a road trip, Ken.
Right.
I
Yeah.
know, it sounds amazing.
If you do operating sessions, that sounds like a lot of fun.
You're more than welcome.
Great.
And something else about Brent, he does have a nice horn collection. And
Oh, that's right. I've got B-roll of you.
yeah, well, we had a little horn blow here before tonight's show. But just kind of tell everybody what horns that you have. That
Well, about 1994, I started. I really had a passion for air horns, and I started buying different horns, and it led into finding different rare prototypes. And over the years, I've managed to find quite a few interesting models, including the first 5-chime ever made in 1949, the Hexatone H5, made by Robert Swanson of Air Chime.
Wow.
And so that led to a friendship with Soundtraxx, and they came out in 1999 and recorded several different models,
Great.
which they offer.
Sweet.
so if you have a Soundtraxx system in your locomotive, you could be blowing his horns.
Yep.
That's correct.
They
Yeah,
came out,
that's
they
neat.
recorded a lot of his different horns,
Yeah.
and from what I understand, it's the sound, it just came out absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So I understand. I saw where you had just picked up a new locomotive.
We recently purchased a GP15T. We got it in last week.
Looks
Is that
great.
is that from Athearn, and does it have sound in it?
It does have sound.
It does
has
have
a
sound,
really
yes.
nice turbo
Yeah, I'll bet.
645.
It's got all
Nice.
the bells and whistles.
Same kind of sound that Soundtraxx comes out with. How amazing is that to buy a real? And how many locomotives, I guess, do you have on your prototype layout?
Well, we're currently operating 4. We have a GP7, former New York
Yeah.
Central. We have a GP15T and 2 GP38-2s.
Okay.
Where did they come from? Do you know?
The 38-2s are L&N and Conrail.
Huh.
Okay.
Awesome.
How often do you have to change the oil on that?
Well, you just add to it, no.
That makes
You
sense.
actually know
Isn't
how
there
to
a
work
drain
on
plug
them.
in the bottom?
You've laid track. You're not just. You've actually got great experience in all aspects of prototype. You know.
My background goes back. I started as a track laborer, track foreman. I transferred over to train service, went through engine service, spent quite a bit of time as road foreman of engines and train master for a major class 1. So it really gives me a great opportunity to kind of work in all aspects of the short line industry. So I can, an average day for me could be putting ties in or sitting in a meeting with a customer. So
That is
I
so-
dropped in one day. I said, asked him what he was doing. He says, "I'm laying ties." I said, "Ties?" I came out and I said, "Well, let's do this." And it was kind of enjoyable. I'd never laid ties before,
Yeah.
and he showed me
Wow.
what to do, and it was kind of fun. We spent a couple hours out there laying
Yeah.
some ties and had a great time.
Nice.
Handley and track.
That
Did you
is
guys have? I know
crazy.
this is
Wow.
crazy. There's so many questions that model railroads relate to.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
we shake the bag of ties to stain them all.
Yeah.
But you're it's such a bizarre situation.
His
Good luck
come
shaking a bag of
pre-stained.
that size.
Similarities, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to say that in just a couple of weeks, we're going to be at Trainfest. That's
Yep.
right,
That's
the
right,
9th and
yeah.
10th of November. On the 9th, we're going to be on that Saturday broadcasting a What's Neat This Week show that hopefully goes a lot smoother than what we had tonight to start
Right.
with. But we've got to do a great show out there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to have as many manufacturers as we can get on, and we're going to just see how long the show lasts. It'll be totally recorded and then out on the internet by Monday. And then on Sunday afternoon, let's think, that's Sunday morning at 11 a.m., we're going to do another show for the folks that can't see the one on Saturday. And that's going to be a show where we have other manufacturers on. And I think we're going to go to the audience and ask questions. And Joshua, you're not going with us, brother.
No.
But I have fixed and studied and understood your sound system. So hopefully the technological part, it's got to work, and I'm going to figure it out.
I'm just a phone call away.
I know, rock and roll.
Now,
It's
Josh
a,
will,
it's a whole
Josh will
disc
teach
jockey
me the
setup.
sound system too, so he's got me as backup.
That's
at
right.
least, so.
And
It's
then
a
I'll
neat
be your
setup.
backup for the backup.
You guys got anything else on the list that you've got on your side?
I do not.
How about you, James?
Nope.
Mike, have you covered everything you want to talk
I
about
think
tonight?
so.
I got to say that we've got the NCE throttle system on the table, and I've been using it again this week. I put brand new batteries in it. It's really simple. It just takes 4 AA batteries, I think is what I put in there, and the thing lasts forever. I love the ergonomics of it, and Christmas is getting close. Seriously, guys, if you're
sure
thinking
is.
about a DCC system that can handle a 4x8 small layout or a very large layout, we're sold on this because we've had over a year and a half of use on it so far, and I really like it. I don't hear any complaints at the table.
None.
And we've got a lot of other systems out there, believe you me, that we're going to learn about. But thank you very much, NCE, for everything that you do for us. You've got a great system that we're completely sold on. You turn it on, and it works.
I would like to give a shout out. In my travels, I travel 16 states, and I've been in Texas last week and going back this next week. And the great thing is I get to go to all the hobby shops, and I made a stop in at Deluxe Hobby down in Plano, Texas this past week. I've got some B-roll here I'm showing, and some great folks and a great inventory and really great hobby shop.
Yeah, I saw those pictures you
Yeah.
posted. It looked like a nice place.
It is very
Yeah.
nice and very friendly and knowledgeable staff.
Yeah, good. All right.
It's absolutely amazing, guys. The only other thing I've got on my list is James Wright took a visit 2 weeks ago to Lionel, and he called me up and told me all about it on the phone, and it was absolutely amazing. Lionel Trains is located in Concord, North Carolina, whereas they have a very large warehouse. I'm just blown away at how big their facilities really are. Lionel's a big name in the hobby, and it has been for years. Their 027 big boy locomotive blew me away. James was showing this model. It looked just absolutely magnificent. The company store, they've actually got a company store about 5 miles away from the world headquarters building, whereas they're able to demonstrate to the public with multiple different layouts in this beautiful square footage of showroom space that they've designed, whereas they take everything they learn and then share it with the hobby shops out there, the retail shops out there, on ways to better promote the product. So this is more like a test bed, but it's a fantastic store. It's 5 miles away, like I said, in Concord Mills Shopping Center. So I was really impressed with what I saw out there. Thank you very much, James Wright, for sharing the footage from your website, your YouTube site, JLWII2000. We love you, brother, and we love everything that you do for the hobby. So next week, I've got Daniel Coombs on. He's going to be talking about signaling systems, from what I understand. Is that right, Daniel?
Yeah.
Yep.
And otherwise, I think we're coming to an end on this one. I think we've got rock and roll the right amount of time.
That's right. Make sure if you're watching us on YouTube to scroll down and subscribe and hit that little bell so you get notifications.
Please do subscribe. We want to break that 10,000 number, and we're
That's
getting
right.
very close. So tell all your friends about the show. This show is produced for you, the hobbyist, the model railroader, and all we are is simple model railroaders ourselves. We do this every single day of the week, most of us anyway. You do it for real, which is really cool. But the whole point is,
1-to-1 scale.
This show
Yeah.
is made by model railroaders for you. It's simple enjoyment. Just sit back, kick back, have coffee, and let's just talk trains. Check out our Facebook page, the What's Neat This Week Facebook page, whereas you can submit photographs of your layout and all the things that you do in the hobby and share with us that we can then talk about on the show. So rock and roll. That's the last time I'm going to say that. With that, let's call it end to show number 92 for October 12th, guys. Let's go run some trains.
Yeah.